What's up, guys? Stay tuned. I'm going to spill some sauce in just a second. Look at this view, guys. How beautiful it is. Sun's starting to set. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, guys, I always had big dreams of living in an apartment like this, a high-rise. I always wanted to be able to wake up to the sun, be able to see these great views, but I want to share with you guys my real story, how I got involved in the industry that I'm in today. And it's a very powerful story, guys. This isn't any bullshit. This is honestly how I got to where I am today. Let me see if I can get the phone to stand up. Perfect. So, guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Colt mosdef. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur / Forex trader. I've been in this industry for about 5 years now, and it was when I was 17, honestly, guys, I was a horrible person back then. Hey, be a good boy, please. Playing with the ball. But back then, guys, I really wasn't who I am today. I was really focused on the whole partying aspect. Like a lot of kids my age, I was focused on partying. Let me lower the music. Come here. Come on. But it was when I was 17 years old, guys, and relax. But it was when I was 17 years old, guys, I was really at a turning point in my life, and I needed to change who I was as a person. I honestly had the wrong people in my life. I wasn't doing the right things. And it got to a point where I was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of who I was, who I had in my life, and all these things. Stop barking, Metro. Calm down. But I just got really tired of who I was, and it really got to a point where my actions weren't just affecting my life, but they were affecting the people's lives around me. Let me get this lighting right, perfect. And I remember very vividly one day that my brother, he told me, he said, Colt, you need to realize that your actions, what you are doing with your life, aren't just affecting you and where you're going to be in the next couple of years, but you're actually slowly but surely killing our father. And that was so true because I was causing so much grief, so much pain in his life and stressing him out all the time that he couldn't focus on his work. He couldn't focus on doing the things they needed to do to provide for our family. And that really hit me. It was a realization point in my life where not just everything that I do affects my life, but it affects people that I really care about, that I truly cherish in my life. And I ended up really just taking that into consideration. I asked my dad one day, and I asked him, I was like, Dad, what do you want me to do to be a better person, to start being and doing better things with my life? And of course, him being him, he said, you need to look for work. And at the time I was 17 years old, I obviously had to start looking for work because my dad was literally about to kick me out of the house. He didn't like who I had become. I was sneaking in alcohol bottles into our house. I was smelling like weed when I would come home, and he just didn't like it. And I remember there was 1 month when I stopped barking. There's 1 month, guys, when I was in so much trouble I got caught at school for having possession of alcohol. I had a water bottle filled with vodka, and some person snitched me out. They searched my backpack, and I got caught with that. And then literally 2 weeks after that, as soon as I got ungrounded, I got caught at the beach for possession of alcohol. I had a bottle of alcohol in my backpack. Same thing. I got 2 tickets, and then literally a week after that, I got caught for possession, or I got caught for shoplifting. I was shoplifting shoes, and I was around the wrong people. I was on drugs at the time. I was a little buzzed, and I went into Macy's with one of my friends. My friends. Let me remind you guys, my friends. And it got to a point where, let me tell you this. We went into Macy's, and I saw these Nikes that I really wanted. And at the time, I didn't have money. I was like broke. I would steal my clothes. I would steal stuff to get these nice things. So I went into Macy's, and I put on this pair of shoes. And I put my old shoes in the box. I walked out casually. My friend, he did the same thing, and he got out fine. He went to his car and then drove away, and he was waiting for me at the bottom. And as soon as I was about to walk out the storefront door, stop barking. Come here. But as soon as I was about to walk out the storefront doors, there were 2 guys. One of them grabbed my shoulder, and the other one grabbed my other shoulder. And they're like, do you know what you did? I was like, fuck. And I got caught. And they took me into the office, and they're like, you need to call your friend right now and tell him to come back and return our shoes. And I was just like, fuck, I remember calling my friend. I was like, yo, I got caught. Like, you need to come back. They have your license plate. They showed me the picture of his license plate for his car. I was like, bro, you need to come back. So we were both sitting in the office. They're interrogating us. And I had pills on me, too. And I was actually prescribed to the pills. I had Adderall because I have ADHD. And I was prescribed to the pills. And they're like, what's in here? I was like, it's Adderall. It's my prescription drug. And they ended up telling us that you're banned from Macy's. You can never come back there. I had to pay a restitution fine to Macy's, like of $800. And at the time I was broke. And all these citations, I had to pay these fines. I had to go to court for them. I had to do all these things. And my dad, he was the one fronting me the money, paying for it. So I was in debt with my dad like $3,000. And he was just so tired of having to pay all these court fines and go to court with me and deal with that. And it was really just like, I was like, I'm done. I am so fucking tired of being who I am. And like I said, I asked my dad, what do you want me to do? And he said, you need to look for work. So, of course, I went and looked for work for a very, very long time, guys. And I almost had a job at Rouse. It was a grocery store. And I was still smoking weed at the time. I was still doing dumb shit. Like, I never really caught on. I don't know why I didn't stop doing that stuff. But I ended up taking the drug test. I failed the drug test. I really clearly remember getting the phone call from the lady. Her name was Pam. And she called me one day. She's like, hey, Cole, your drug test came back a little fishy. It was positive for marijuana. And I fessed up. I was like, you know what? It's because I'm smoking weed. Like, I smoke weed. I smoked weed about a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago. And she's like, yeah, we don't allow you to come up positive. You can't work here if you came up positive on any of the drugs. And I was like, and she told me, she's like, you can apply 6 months down the road. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to wait 6 months to reapply for a job and hopefully get that job again 6 months down the road. So me being me, guys, I was really used to selling things on Craigslist. I used Craigslist a lot as a child, and I ended up putting an ad on Craigslist. I know this sounds crazy, but it's so get off the couch. My dog is fucking not behaving right now, guys. I'm sorry. But I ended up putting an ad on Craigslist, and I titled the ad, I Need a Job ASAP. And crazy enough, I got a couple of scam offers, and I kind of took them. There's this one offer that this guy gave me where he's like, if you post things on Craigslist, for me, these ads that I need posted, I'll pay you out every week. I remember I did that. I got my 2 friends on board, and they were doing it with me, and then we got a check. And the check had like $4,000. I was like, no way. I remember seeing the check, and I didn't want to show my dad. He didn't know what I was doing, and I went to try and cash it. And then they're like, this is a fake check. Where did you get this? I was like, oh, shit. And I called the guy, and he's like, wasn't a real legit person. It was like talking to a robot or something like that. But I ended up not getting that offer anymore. I dropped that, and I actually had my ad still on Craigslist. Excuse me. And through that ad, I got a couple of other offers, and there's this one offer from this guy named Marvin Jones, and I remember getting a call from this guy, Marvin Jones. He's like, Cole, what's going on? I saw your ad on Craigslist. I can totally help you out with work. And me being me with a big-ass ego and a small bank account, I was like, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this. This kind of sounds like a scam. But with Marvin, what sales require is persistency. And Marvin was extremely persistent. He kept calling me every other day asking. And it got to a point where I was like, I don't have any other option on what I'm going to do to make money. I'm going to might as well just take this offer. And I ended up going down to their corporate office where they had the product and the service and everything. And I remember going with my dad and one of my good buddies, Cole. And we went into the corporate office thinking like it was going to be some sketchy stuff. Like we might not come out alive. And we pull up there. It's actually a nice building, a nice corporate office. We walk in there. Everyone's wearing suits. Everyone's wearing designer clothes. I remember seeing someone wearing a Louis Vuitton belt, a Gucci belt. And I admired these things. I'd always ask my dad and my stepmom, hey, can I get a Gucci belt? And of course, we didn't have the funds that were required to get those products, and I didn't have any money, so they're like, no, you can't do that. So when I saw these people with these nice designer clothes, I was like, all right, they're a person of authority. They are doing something right to be wearing those type of clothes. And immediately when I walked in there, I felt this energy, this presence that I have never felt before. And that's simply because I had been around these broke people my whole entire life that weren't really doing anything with their life to get further. They just wanted to have fun, enjoy the moment. And then I was around these bosses, people that wanted to step their level up. They were willing to do whatever it fucking takes to get to the next level in life. And I really recognized that. I remember we were presented the business. After the presentation, it was the company was called UA. It was a distribution company that specialized in highly advanced technology. So the first product that they had was a U-box, and it was like a little rectangle box like this. Hold on, guys, let me blow my nose. But the first product that they had was a media streaming device. And it basically plugged into your TV at an HDMI cord and a power cord, and it hooked up to Wi-Fi. So the whole point of this U-Box was to get rid of cable bills. It's a one-time fee of $3.99. After that, it streams off Wi-Fi. You can watch any movie, any TV show. I was watching movies that were already in theaters straight from home, like legit, honestly. And what it would do is basically stream the internet. So I started selling those products. At first, I didn't do that well. I asked literally every single one of my friends, hey, do you want to join this company? I have this great opportunity. Most every single one of them either ignored me or they said no. I was like, that's strange. You guys want to go and have fun on the weekends, but I present this opportunity to make money and do something with each other, and you're not down to take it. That's when I realized, like, my friends really weren't my friends. You want to know who your real friends are, guys? Ask them to join a business, and whoever joins, they're your real friends. Whoever doesn't join, they don't give a fuck about you in the end run. So that's what I did. I asked all my friends if they wanted to join this business with me, and pretty much every single one of them said no, except for two of them. That was Colt and my other buddy, Karcher. And we both went into the business together. We all started killing it. We started making money. I started seeing success just being around better, more quality people, and my life started to change. They taught me how to become successful. And it was crazy because the CEO and the vice president's son was in the company that I was in as well. And he was 18 years old at the time. I was 17. And I remember hearing at the first conference we went to, they said, yeah, my nephew who was 18 years old just sold 200 U-boxes. And the commission per U-box was $150. So I was like, 200 times 150. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of fucking money. And I was like, wait, someone that's 18, a year older than me, a little bit less than a year older than me, has been able to sell 200 U-boxes. Why can't I do the same thing? And I realized that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. People will complain, they'll bitch, they'll complain how somebody else has seen more success than the other, and that's simply because they are not using their 24 hours the same as others. Some people value their time, others don't. So what I saw is someone that was the same age as me who literally really valued their time, and it was already seeing success at a very young age. So I started acquainting myself with him. I started becoming closer with him, and we got so close, and he introduced me and invited me over to his house. And at his house, his dad was a fucking multi-millionaire. They had a mansion in Tustin Hills where I live. He had a Ferrari, a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Sprinter van, a Mercedes S550. Was literally living the craziest lifestyle. I remember pulling up to that house the first day, and I felt like I didn't belong. Like I really wasn't meant to be there. And he respected me, though. He saw that I was a person just like him. He started mentoring me, then introduced me to his dad, and we really started hanging out more and more. And it got to a point where I was like this with them. They helped me grow. They helped me start making money. I got to a point where I was making a couple thousand extra a month, hanging around straight fucking bosses. Real people that were really making and seeing real results in the industry. They were making millions of dollars. So I ended up getting connected with them, and everything took off from being around the right people. And I can tell you guys right now, if you show me your friends, I can show you your bank balance, how successful you're going to become, because they say birds of the same feather flock together. That's so true. I was around broke people my whole life, and I stayed broke. Then I started surrounding myself with multi-millionaires, people that were making crazy amounts of money, and I started making crazy amounts of money. It was crazy because my buddy's dad was like my rich dad, and then at home I had my poor dad. And I really learned things from my poor dad. He wasn't really poor, but he was just working so hard all the time. And I saw my buddy's dad, who was just working so smart, didn't really work hard at all, and was fucking killing it. So I got really both sides of the situation and learned a lot. And then through that company, let me tell you guys this. The second product we had was the hoverboards. So the hoverboards the company's name was U-Wheels. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. You might have, but U-Wheels were the company that we were selling. And the hoverboards were absolutely crazy 2 years ago. They were blowing up. Every single buddy had a hoverboard. And if you had a hoverboard, you were someone people respected. They looked at you like, damn, what is that thing he's riding? Because no one had seen them before. So I ended up getting involved in selling those products. And those were hotcakes. I started building authority on Instagram. I started gaining sales through Instagram. And people started buying those hoverboards off me. And the commission was $150 once again. Same thing as the U-Box. And I sold a couple hoverboards. And I started to get bulk buyers. People that would come to the office and pick up 5, 10, 20 hoverboards at a time. And I was making off the couch. Good dog. But I started selling 10, 20 hoverboards, and it got to a point where I was making a lot of money. I had my first $500 day, then $1,000 day, and it just took off. It was so crazy. But as I look back at all the things that I have achieved, the number one thing that I look back the most is my progress, how much I have grown as an individual, because I used to be that broke fuck that wasn't really doing anything. My mindset was broke. I was broke financially. Everything just wasn't there. And I never imagined myself being able to talk in front of a camera this long in front of people I barely know. And now I'm able to do that. I've been able to speak on stages with 300, 500 plus people. I have a next convention in a couple of months now where I'm going to speak in front of 1,000 people and share my story just as I'm sharing it with you guys. So it's really powerful to enjoy the journey and not so much worry about the whole money-making aspect, because a lot of people, they see that. When I first got involved in the industry, I was looking at people that were making tons of money. And I eventually, right off the bat, put my mind and wrap my mind around the whole thing of, I want to make money, I want to make money. They're making money, why can't I make money as well? I know 11 people on here. It's probably because a lot of people are getting off work right now. Usually I'll have 30, 40, 50 people on here, but it's fine. I'm going to re-record this. I'm going to have it saved so you guys can rewatch it. But ended up, the hoverboards, the news came out with hoverboards catching on fire. And everyone was like, hell no. I am not having my son get a hoverboard. I am not having my house catch on fire, because people's houses were actually catching on fire. And the whole company basically went to shit. Nobody wanted to buy a hoverboard. And that's when I'm going to tell you guys about Forex right now. Hold on. Why are you being such a menace, Metro? So the hoverboards ended up going down. The company ended up going down because nobody wanted to buy them. There was a lot of scarcity in the market. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, what's my next thing going to be? And luckily, my buddy that I had met through that company, he showed me about Forex. And I remember, guys, so clearly the day that I heard about Forex. Investing, I always had been intrigued about investing my money. I always wanted to do that. So I ended up hearing him out. He told me about this thing that was going on, this company that they were involved in. And he actually showed me about these people that were already on the level that I'm on. And it's crazy because when I saw these people's Instagrams, they were living the lifestyle that I'm currently living. I was like, this is unbelievable. How are these people doing this? How are they on such a high level in life and I'm doing fucking barely these numbers? And immediately I was attracted. I was like, bro, sign me the fuck up, whatever it takes. I had made money throughout the company before, UA and U-Wheels. I sold a bunch of those products and I made a bunch of money. So he told me, it's like, yo, it's $300 to join. And the company was actually wealth generators. So it was an MLM company, meaning multi-level marketing. So the whole concept behind an MLM company is to recruit people. The more people you recruit, the more money you make. So obviously my mentors, they taught me like, yo, recruit a bunch of people. We're going to build a huge team, a huge foundation, and you can always have that network with you. That's what I did. I built a huge network. I built a team over the months this is when I was 18 years old. I was a senior in high school. And this is my last year. It was do or fucking die. I was literally going so hard. I would ditch my classes just to get on phone calls with clients. Off the couch. Off the couch, Metro. Get down. But I ended up building a huge team of over 300 plus members. And one of my top leaders, Chris Sosa, it was like a pyramid scheme. So I was at the top, then I had 1, 2, 3 people below me. They had a bunch of people below them, and it was like a whole pyramid tree of people that were all signed up with the business. So I ended up building a huge team of 300 plus people, and I was killing it. I had a residual income of about $5,000 coming in every month. And if you guys, fake traders. I was honestly a fake trader. I was manipulating people, lying to people, and I didn't like who I had become. And it was a real realization point in my life that really woke me up. I'm telling you guys right now, it gets really emotional sometimes for me. It's just so real. Everything that has happened, like my whole childhood, guys, I grew up. It was really hard. I could tell you guys some really fucked up things that I went through as a child. And I feel like every single one of us that had those hard childhoods, I know there's so many of you that are going to watch this that this can relate to me. And I feel like the ones that had that hard childhood growing up, they didn't have everything handed to them. They're the more disciplined people that end up getting what they want later on in life. That's exactly what happened with me. So I ended up coming in this company. I recruited a huge team. And then one day I get a phone call with one of my buddies, or one of my Chris's downline, Nick. He called me. He's like, Colt, what's going on, bro? And I was like, yo, what's up, G? He told me, he's like, yo, I need to tell you something. I was like, fuck. I immediately knew something was wrong, with Chris. He told me, and guys, this shit gets so fucking real. It's really real, because this shit really has purpose behind it. There's real meaning behind everything that has happened in my life. That's why I'm telling you guys, you need to enjoy the process. Trust it. Know that everything is going to fall into place if you keep consistently pushing yourself. But I ended up getting the call from Nick, and he's like, Cole, what's up, bro? I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, I need to tell you something. I was like, what? He's like, bro, Chris got killed last night. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, bro, he got hit by a car. He walked in the street. He got hit by a car, was dragged under the car for 5 minutes, and on the way to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. He was dragged under a fucking car for 5 minutes. The goddamn fucking driver didn't know that somebody was being dragged under the car until they finally fucking turned off the highway and found out. I heard this. I was crying on the fucking phone, real talk. I was bawling my eyes out, because this is someone that has trusted me. They built a business with me. They were one of the closest people that I had in my life that I cared about so genuinely. Not just that, but my business died. Every single person that had joined my business fell off. They stopped paying their monthly fee. They left the business because Chris wasn't there, because I wasn't putting in the same effort. And I was so focused. This is when another failure came, because it was UA. I failed in that. That business went down. I made money, but it ended up failing. And then wealth generators, I ended up failing in that. My business went to shit. And it was all these failures helped me become who I am today. And that's why you guys need to embrace these failures. But after the company went down, I really took some time off. I wanted to find out who I was, what my real life purpose was. And ever since I was a little kid, I love speaking. I love speaking at weddings, just sharing my heart, just being fucking real with people. Because there's so many fake people out there that honestly don't give a fuck about you. And that's when I was looking back at all those months I had built the company. And all I did was manipulate people. I lied to them. I pretended I was a big Forex trader. I was just fucking fake. And these people bought into it. They fucking bought into this fake fantasy dream that I had pretended I had. And I was just so tired of who I was. I didn't like who I was. I took off time. I did a shit ton of self-development to find out who I was. I ended up investing a ton of money into Forex courses, into education, so I can actually learn how to be a real trader. And then it was my breakthrough when I was 19 years old. Oh, fuck, guys, it's so crazy how this shit happened. But when I was 19 years old, I had started making a lot of money fucking trading. I hit a 6-figure income. At 19 years old, I made $100,000 that year. Plus that, I got my dream car. I moved out of my dad's house. I overall became a very, very big person of authority. A lot of people looked up to me. I had built a huge following on Instagram. That's when I had like 10, 12,000 followers, and now I have over 20,000 followers. But I literally started living my dream lifestyle. I became the person that I've always wanted to become. And obviously, I'm not fully where I want to be in life. And that's why I'm still enjoying the process, still working hard every single day, doing one thing at a time just to get further. And I challenge you guys to constantly be doing that, never to give up on yourself. It's so hard to believe in yourself, to know that everything is going to fall into place when nobody else is there on the sidelines to cheer you on, when nobody else gives a fuck about you, when your own friends, your own family doubt you, they think you're selling drugs. I remember when I got my dream car, my Audi A3 2.0 Quattro, I pulled up to my street. My aunt was leaving as I was coming in. She's like, wow, that's a nice car. What are you doing, selling drugs? I was like, are you serious? You think of your own nephew as a drug dealer? That's how I make my money? To this day, I barely recently got respect from my family. My own grandma thinks I'm a wheeler and dealer where I do sketchy business. And that's simply because they don't take the time to ask and get to know what we're really doing. Everybody has these false assumptions in their head where they think they know it all. And that's why I challenge you guys to not give a fuck what anyone has to say. At the end of the day, when you guys go to sleep in your bed, it's you and only you. You might be in the same household as your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, but when you wake up tomorrow morning, it's your obligation to go harder. Nobody else is going to force you to do it. They might tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But it's just like, I can teach you guys how to fish. Or I can go and fish for you guys and teach you how to, and I could catch a fish for you and you're going to eat for a day. Or I can teach you guys how to fish and you guys are going to eat for a lifetime. It's the same thing. Nobody is going to really show you the exact blueprints on how to become successful. And that's why it's so fucked up. Everyone's so mind-fucked in the whole traditional system of, okay, we're going to go to school. You're going to have to pay $25,000 to $100,000 to learn a skill. You're going to use that skill for 40 plus years of your life. You're going to travel after you retire to Europe one time, and then you're going to die. I really think that there's a lot more meaning to life than waking up, going to work, coming home, and doing some bullshit. And what really motivates you, what I think you all need to figure out is what your why is. What hurts you? What are my whys ever since my start of my entrepreneurship? What did I say? That my problems, the things that I was doing in my life, were affecting my father. One of my whys is my own father, because I see my dad every single time I go to his house, guys. He's working so hard. He doesn't have any time to barely talk to me, spend time with me. He's like, oh, I gotta work. I'm busy working. Don't talk to me right now. When you see somebody that you love and you care about genuinely, somebody that took 18 plus years of their life to raise you to become the person you are today, when you see that, it really impacts you hard. It really makes you realize that you do not want to be in the same predicament that they are in. My dad's around 57 years old. Do you think that I want to work until I'm 57 years old? I'm trying to retire by the age of 30 at least, guys. You all have something very special. Very, very special. And I know some of you don't know what that is yet. You haven't figured that out. And you will. But one of the reasons as to how you are going to figure that out is putting yourself into uncomfortable circumstances, doing things that you are not used to doing. I became who I am today by cutting people out of my life that weren't really there for me at the end of the day. In return, I hung around better people. I hung around people that were helping me and had more quality in their life. You need to take off habits. I had to stop smoking weed. I had to give up drinking. I had to give up partying. Yeah, it's awesome to enjoy these amazing times to go and party, to have fun with friends, but do you really deserve it? Every single weekend, I watch people's Instagram stories and they're celebrating failure. They do not have a real reason to be at the clubs drinking those bottles. So I want you guys to know that you can be whatever you want. You can honestly do the most amazing things, but one thing that is going to determine how successful you become, how much money you make, is the value that you bring to the marketplace. Every single day, I am bringing value to other people's lives. I am putting other people before me because that's how it should be. A lot of us nowadays, we as human beings, we think about ourselves 99% of the time. And do you want to know how I know this? Because look, let's say all 12 of you in this live feed right now. Let's say that we all line up and we take a picture, right? Take a picture, chink! After we're all going to go look at the picture. Do you know who the first person that we're going to look at in that picture? Ourselves. If we have that beautiful smile, we don't have the red glare in our eyes, we're going to say that's a perfect picture. We're not going to consider if anyone else looks good enough for the picture. As long as we look good, we're going to say that's a good picture. You guys can't stop. You guys need to stop thinking about yourself all the time. And that's what I did. I was always thinking about myself. I never put others before me. And that's really what it comes down to, is the more people you help get what they want in life, you're eventually going to get what you want in life. I had to dedicate a couple of years to helping other people get what they want in life, and in return, I started to get things I wanted in life. You guys all have something really amazing in you, and 2019 can be a big year for you, but you just need to switch some things out. You need to figure out some goals that you have and your why. The ultimate reason as to why where I am today is my why. I have a very, very emotional why that attacks me. Every morning I wake up thinking, fuck, my dad is waking up as well, but he's going to go work his ass off to pay his bills. Me, I have a business that I love. I have people that respect me. I have all these amazing opportunities everywhere around me. You guys need to realize that that's what it comes down to. Your why and your goals need to align with each other. Just like my goals, I want to retire my dad. I want to be able to retire before I'm 30. I want to do these things. I don't want to do these things. I must do these things. Another thing that you guys need to do is reprogram your mind. Stop saying, I want this, I want that. You must have this. You must have that. Don't make up goals like, I want that nice car. I want this. Help enough people and they're going to give you the value that you bring to enough people. In exchange, they're going to pay for that. Why do you think I fucking make $20,000 a month, guys? Because people pay me for the value that I bring. Sorry, guys. What you guys need to all do is bring more value to the marketplace. That's all I can leave you guys with. But if you came on this live feed late, I am going to save it. And if you guys do not know me, reach out to me. Let's connect. I'm looking to help you. Yes, you watching this right now, get to the next level in life, because that's very crucial, not just for you, it's crucial for me. I need to see you guys succeed as well as I do. Your success is my success. But guys, I want to show you the sunset. I think we got a nice little sunset right now. Let's see. I always wanted a house like this with these type of windows. I always wanted this, guys, and now I have it. I'm able to wake up in the sky and enjoy this beautiful view. You can see the little metro going by, Metro Link. Guys, peace out. I hope you enjoyed this live. Also, if you came on late, rewatch it. There was a lot of fucking value that I went over, guys, and I appreciate you all. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to hear me out. I know Calvin was on here the whole time. I know a couple others of you were on there the whole time as well. But guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you all a lot. More than you know it, I swear to God.